Hi everybody, well I'm a little bit behind the curve with this one because I'm recording this video on the 9th of November and the 0.96 update for Arma Reforger actually came out, I think it was on the 20th of October, but I wanted to cover it because I haven't had a chance to get back into Arma Reforger to check out any of the features, and I needed to know what to look out for. And maybe if you've been away from Arma Reforger on PC or on Xbox, this can we can all get up to speed together. In the description below this video you'll find the link to the proper patch notes, so you can go through it in detail, especially things like the fixes and the bug changes that are down below, so I won't bother going through all of those, but there is some exciting news. So without further ado, attention soldiers, we're excited to release to the community the 0.9.6 update to Arma Reforger's stable application. This is our first major update which comes with a host of new features, content and fixes as listed below. The game will be updated for Steam and Xbox today, October the 20th. There will be a server downtime between 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Thank you to everyone who was able to help us test many of these features first in the experimental build. Your feedback and continued support are greatly appreciated. So here we go. So we've got the list of features. Editor. Activating action menu entries. As a game master, you can now interact with objects in the world. Play a few notes on a piano. Flush a toilet or open doors in houses to suggest enemy movement and keep players on their toes. That's quite interesting. It'd be great for haunted house experiences, wouldn't it? Quick placing bar. Placing entities in Game Master just got a lot easier thanks to the quick placing bar. Now you can add assets to the game world on the fly without having to open the entity browser window. To make space for this interface, we've rearranged the UI layout on the main screen. The feature is in development, so we'd like to ask you for your feedback before it's introduced with the ground support update. Interesting. Filter tabs in Entity Browser. The Entity Browser now has several new tabs. This can help you organize and switch between custom filters. For example, you can save specific search results and then access them later with a click, even if you've restarted the game. That's good. You know, because if you always search for, you know, tank or something like that, you want to, it's like a common items, isn't it? Editor, compositions 0.9.6. New compositions for roads have been added in 3 different sizes for both the US and Soviet factions. Editor, voting improvements. Active voting is now highlighted in the player list. In addition, if you nominate yourself as a games master, you can also cancel that nomination from the player list. Editor, disclaimer about incompatible world. Whenever you open the Game Master mode in a scenario that is not prepared for it, for example, when you're an admin and have automatic access to the Game Master interface, regardless of the scenario, you'll receive a subtle notification to let you know you're using it in an unexpected setting. Sandbox, zone restriction. Restricted zones placed by a Game Master are now more forgiving, with a larger warning area and directionally responsive post-processing effects to help return you back to the battle. Editor, add lens flare attribute to photo mode attributes. You can now select the lens flare types available in the Arma Vision camera mode or disable them completely. Editor, Game Master only ping. As a Game Master, you can now ping other Game Masters without notifying players on the battlefield by pressing U, as opposed to by pressing Y on a QWERTY keyboard, which can still be used to ping globally. I wonder what it would be on controller. Editor, action to delete all destroyed entities. As a Game Master, you can now delete all dead soldiers, destroyed vehicles, and any discarded inventory items by activating Delete All Dead and Destroyed Entities from the toolbar. 2D Map Protractor. A new protractor tool has been added for navigation. It can be used in conjunction with your map and compass to plot waypoints, mark enemy positions, and orientate yourself in the field. 2D Map Line Drawing. Straight lines can be now drawn on the 2D map for triangulating your position. I'll have to have a play around with that. Item inspection. Several user actions have been added to the inspection mechanic, allowing for some basic interactions with the weapons you're holding. Attachments can be added or removed and magazines exchanged. Please note this feature is in development. Again, we'll have to play around with that. Conversion of destruction prefabs and commit scripted side of new destruction system. Scripts handling destruction have been reworked and are now better optimized. Please note not every prefab is using the new approach. This is because of some current technological limitations which will be addressed in the future. Conflict features. The conflict game mode has been reworked. Several major changes have been made to the victory conditions, supply expenditure and gameplay relating to logistics. The tutorial scenario has also been updated, so be sure to give it a playthrough if you would like to see what's new, so we better do that. Workshop Mod Manager interface. The Mods Manager has arrived, allowing you to update and play your favourite mods with ease. This new interface also provides tools for saving mod presets, exporting server config mod setups, and command line parameters. Okay, so that could be good, because especially on console, there's a lot of problems with mods, and I think we had a lot of assumptions about if you went into a particular scenario that the game would pick the right mods, but I don't think it used to. It used to try and load all of them. So hopefully we'll be able to create presets now. We will have to see. Group enhancements. Group leaders can now change various settings for the unit and confer the squad leader role on others. Private groups also prevent players from joining their unit, restricting access to invites only. Custom names can also be assigned to groups, along with descriptive text that can allow players to communicate their battlefield intentions, combat roles, and any other information to those belonging to their faction. Adjusted lower stance. Precision stance adjustments have been extended to the crouch position, providing an incremental transition from standing. Roll in prone. The ability to roll to the left or right while prone has been added. This can be achieved by pressing either Q or E while lying down. I wonder if it would be the shoulder buttons, probably on console. Note, rolling does not prone. In fact, I tell you what, if you watch these videos, Beam Interactive, pay me to be your console, what would the word be? Not analyst. I could be advisor, perhaps. And when you come up with these things, put it through me as well, and then we'll come up with controls for consoles. Improved ragdolls. Improvements have been made to ragdoll physics. Falling and death animations are now more convincing and are responsive to the directional force of individual projectiles. AI throwing grenades. All units may now use hand grenades and UGLs. I wonder what UGL is in certain situations. Please note this is a feature in development. AI using and reacting to melee. AI units will now engage in melee if an enemy is close enough and they cannot fire their weapon. They will also respond to melee attacks. Graphical user interface. Adaptive opacity. With this new feature, the opacity of GUI elements will be dynamically adjusted according to the lighting in a scene. This will enhance interface visibility in certain contexts and situations, such as building interiors and nighttime battles. Conditional visibility. Modders now have greater freedom to choose which UI overlays are visible in both first and third person, as well as when aiming down sights and when the pause menu is active. HUD elements have been removed from vehicles in first person view. Non-player storage interaction. To better manage inventories between multiple containers in the near vicinity, you can now open and close separate containers. Right, so there's a lot of information as well below the main points, and there's lots of things around fixing stability and bugs and slight changes and things like that. So I'm not going to go all of those because you can go in and have a look at there. But I think we've gone through the main key points that this should have introduced a lot more stability to the game. I like the idea of some changes being made to conflicts. There's a few things I need to do. Need to go and play the conflict tutorial again. Need to go and have a look at how this weapon inspection works. We need to have a go rolling on controller to see if that works too, and play around with some of the Game Master stuff as well. But it's great to see Arma Reforger forging ahead. I just wish that they hadn't charged any money for this game. I think it was a shame that when they released it, it was the multiplayer was basically broken in conflict mode, and they had to pull it back. So you had these crazy 16-player servers. I don't know what, I'll have to check see what it is now. So people weren't getting the full Arma experience, and you'd have gone, well, I paid my £25. What did I get? Whereas if it had been if it had either worked well on release, then people would have probably carried on playing, or if it had been free and people had gone, well, okay, this is a beta, this is an alpha, we're helping with the development of the game. So I think mistakes were probably made with the release of Reforger. But it's great to see it moving forward. We're moving towards Arma 4, but obviously that is a long, long way off. What do you think, though? Put your questions and comments down below, and we'll, of course, see you again soon.